I wanted to first set out clearly for people the speech I did in Manchester a couple of weeks ago, and again today as I became leader of the Labour Party, what I would do, because that's what the country want to hear. They don't want to hear all the obsession on who's up and who's down and personalities and all the rest of it. Okay, there's a place for that, but not before I've set out really clearly what I intend to do in this role. And I've said it today, I have a plan, I've laid it out, and now we can then move on to those issues.
Are you genuinely telling me you genuinely don't? Right?
I am finalising those decisions, and I will come to conclusions very shortly, and then I will announce those on Monday. So that's the normal way. You know, people want everything earlier these days, and there's lots of speculation, but that's the orderly way to do it, and I have done it, I believe, in the right way. I'm not in the job yet, but when I am, I will do it in the proper way. Because you do that when you do take over, you make those decisions, and it would be somewhat premature and would, I think, cause something of a chaos if you start half a reshuffle before you're in position. But I've paid tribute to Keir today because he has left a really important legacy, particularly this week, the Hillsborough Law, which I think will make this a more just country, a fairer country going forward, where we don't see anybody going through what the Hillsborough families went through, but changes to bring NHS waiting lists down, new rights for workers, for renters, renationalising rail. These are big changes, and it gives me plenty to build on. When I kind of look around your part of the world, as I look at Makerfield, you remember I talked about a Makerfield test in the by-election. It's about making sure that when we think about policies, they work most for the areas that most need investment and most need support. And sometimes this country hasn't worked like that. People in places that have felt forgotten, that have suffered or struggled with deindustrialisation and then haven't seen the new investment coming through. I bet people feel that here as much as they do in my constituency of Makerfield. And this is the thing that I want to change. I was barely in the door before Lauren mentioned the Gravesend-Tilbury ferry. And I'm right behind you, because I made the point today, connectivity is absolutely crucial. And, you know, again, if you go back to my part of the world, we put our buses back under public control and we put a cap on the fares, and then you can help people to improve their lives. But if you don't have that basic connectivity, transport that's there for people every day and that they can afford, well, how can they get on in life? And I think that's what happened in the 1980s. Too many of the basic things we depend upon were broken up and sold off, and therefore became much more expensive for people, or weren't there at all. You know, no bus services in more rural areas. And it's time to say that's not good enough. And this moment is going to be the biggest change moment in 40 years, because we've had 40 years of that trickle-down approach to running the economy, but it doesn't trickle down much at all, does it? It doesn't benefit ordinary people here. And that's what I want to do, to work with you to put more power into the hands of people here, to get the basics right, to get public transport back under public control, to make it more affordable to people every day. Water, bring water bills down, energy bills, get those down as well. And you'll see this as a theme that comes through in the coming weeks. Reindustrialise Britain, give people good jobs again. And here's a commitment I want you to hear. I believe we need a change to the education system in this country so that it offers a path to all young people. And you particularly, I've got a supporter here. Now there's a young person who wants to get to school quickly. Get on. But I want a school system that gives a path to everybody. Not completely obsessed with the university route. University is important, but how about a system that's about academic and technical and gives a path to all young people into a reindustrialised Britain with more good jobs? How about we empower John and council colleagues in this room to build more council houses again, so that we can deal with the housing crisis? say all of these things because it's about getting Britain working again. If people can't afford their homes, if they can't afford their transport, then they can't get into work. And then the welfare bill gets too high. Let's put back in place the fundamentals that people need at a price that they can afford. And then we will set them up for success. And then the country will start growing again. And all parts of the country will feel that they've got the power that they need to get on and make changes to the lives of their residents. And that's what Number 10 North will be about. I know it's going to be in the North. That doesn't mean it's just for the North. Number 10 North will be as much for Gravesend as it is will be for Makerfield. And we want to get the power into your hands to get your ferry back as a minimum, but also then just to start to get the fundamentals in place so that you can get the growth and the jobs that you need and build the homes that people need. But we do it all with a pro-business culture and supporting. It's an amazing location that you've got here, and you've got so much going for you in this area. But we just need to help you to make the most of it. And I'll just finish by saying I just also want to make sure that we work as one Labour team, one Labour family, bringing the change that we need. Too often in the past we've been fighting each other. And you know what? I think we need to change politics too. The public don't want to hear the point scoring when life isn't easy and when they would say politics isn't working for anybody. You know, it just makes them switch off and it actually infuriates them. I think we've just got to be clear about what will we do? What am I going to empower John and his colleagues to do? What am I going to do to support our 3 MPs who are with us today to get the improvements that they want to see in their areas, so that when we go to those doorsteps, we're talking about us and what we're going to do. And yes, let's make sure it's boldly, confidently, authentically Labour, that we're the party that people remember on their side and working hard for them. Finding common ground with others where we can, but absolutely let's make this a change moment in politics as well, so that we make politics work harder for people. So I am setting out a new direction. It's wonderful to be able to be here with you on this really special day for me. I've had a long and winding journey to this this moment in my life, but it is a big moment in my life. I know many of you, I'm seeing friends and faces from the past in this room, because I've been in this party, I joined it 40 years ago, and so many people have helped me on my way to this particular moment. What I can say is I'm not going to let this job change me. I'll remain on the ground. I will remain close to people. I will listen to what they say. I will put us back in touch with ordinary people. I will give it my all. I will give my all to support all of you here in Kent, to make sure Labour connects with people here. I know we can do it together, because I believe in you all. I believe in what we can do together. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for giving me the privilege of spending this important day with you here in this wonderful setting.